6:45 on your Thursday morning. Welcome back here to Good Day. It's now time once again for our In Your Business segment. We're joined by Mary Beth Seawald from the Las Vegas Metro Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for coming in again, Mary.
Hi, John. Thanks for having me.
So it's been busy. The legislative session is finally over. You were up in Carson City quite a bit. Let's do a little bit of a breakdown of how you would characterize how the legislative session went and the effects on businesses here in the Valley.
Well, thank you, John. You know, I think the legislative session started out as one that I would characterize as kind of dangerous. It would have been very challenging for our small businesses here in Nevada. But we were really able to work alongside the Retail Association of Nevada, gaming and mining, and I want to thank Speaker Frierson, especially because he was a true friend to business this session, along with the leadership of our Government Affairs Committee and our Government Affairs team led by Hugh Anderson and Paul Moradkin. They were able to mitigate a lot of the bad bills.
One of the big issues that you and I have talked about before has to do with the minimum wage, which was just signed into law yesterday. What's the Chamber's position on that, and I guess how did that morph as the legislative session went on?
That's a great question, John. You know, our members told us that to start out at the $15 an hour rate would have been detrimental to them. And they told us if that happens this quickly, we will just not be able to afford that and we'd have to close our doors, which would have been terrible for our employees because then they wouldn't have had a job at all. So I think we were able to mitigate that as well and to make sure that we're starting now at $12 with the graduated increase. So we feel like that's a lot more palatable for our members.
Are there any other things that were passed up there that can be brought down to some entrepreneurs, some business owners here in the Valley to help them as they try and get their feet under them?
I think so. You know, it started out with mandatory paid sick leave was another one that would have been very challenging and costly for our businesses. We were able to mitigate that one and to turn that into something that's also a lot more affordable for our members. So that's another example of that now that is paid time off. Okay. So we're happy with that one as well. Sort
of a middle ground.
Middle ground, definitely a compromise.
So you're about to head to Washington, D.C.
We are.
Which is not a place you're not unfamiliar with. A big announcement also coming up this morning about the trip and some things on the horizon.
Yeah, you know, John, we're very excited to have formed a strategic partnership with the Las Vegas Global Economic Alliance. Jonas Peterson there has been great to work with, Derek Hill, and it really gives the two largest business and economic development organizations in the state one unified voice. So when we go to Washington, D.C. and we work with our legislators, we will have a group of approximately 100 people, and that really gives us an opportunity to make a lot of headway in Washington.
Headway on what? What are some main issues that you'll be talking to folks in Washington about?
Headway on funding for I-11. There are a lot of things that we're working on a federal level. We're working to fight against Yucca Mountain, and breaking news, we've got some information this morning that there is no vehicle in the House right now for Yucca Mountain. So for now, we feel like we've been able to make a lot of headway with Yucca and keeping that out of our backyard.
No vehicle. Help me understand what do you mean by no? Like an actual vehicle or like
no bill, no legislation.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you think that's kind of done and dusted?
For now.
For now.
You know, you can never count out Yucca Mountain because there are a lot of folks who would really like to reinstate that and to provide funding for it. But for now, we feel like it's a big victory for Las Vegas.
If people in the community, other members of the Chamber want to get involved in the trip, maybe make their voices heard, how can they get involved?
They can go to our website at lvchamber.com. You can also call us at 702-641-5822. We're just very excited about our partnership with the LVGEA and all of the members of the Chamber who have the opportunity to go and work with us on policies in Washington, D.C.
All right. Well, Mary, thank you again for coming in this morning and talking business. Straight ahead here on